This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here. I promised you we're going to go hard this weekend. We haven't in a while. And yes, buckle up. Video number 2 of this fine dandy Friday evening. We're ready to roll right here. If you're new to the channel, take the next 10 minutes or so. Consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around at least for Monday's hockey game against the Winnipeg Jets. You know what? Last time I cursed it. We were going for 4 and I was all excited about it. Guess what? I'm willing to get hurt again, so let's do it. Going for 4 against the Winnipeg Jets on Monday. All right, but with that said, we have to review this crazy 6-1 streak that the Edmonton Oilers currently find themselves on, because we are turning the corner that we have been waiting to turn all season. And you know what? If it takes doing it against Ottawa, I said it in the previous video. Would you rather the Oilers lost in Ottawa? Just so as you could say, showed you the Oilers sucked, they lost against Ottawa. If that's what you want to do with your life, great dandy. Just don't do it here, all right? I don't got time for that nonsense. We're Oilers fans. We want the Oilers to win. I don't care who the wins come against. And guess what? The wins have all come against 5 out of 6 teams we've played this year, and we've only played the other team one time, that being the Flames. Anyhow, you look at it this way, all right? Is simply put, the Oilers, they're on a roll right now. Yeah, sure, 4 against Ottawa. But like I said, if you'd prefer to lose against Ottawa, jump ship, break your ankle on the way down so you can't hop back on the bandwagon later when the Oilers are suddenly beating Toronto and Montreal every second night like it's nobody's business. All right, I don't have time for people that would rather sit here and lose to the basement dwellers just to prove a point. All right, fair enough. Said, well, I didn't call anyone a moron this time, but if you want to lose to Ottawa, you're pretty much a moron as well. Okay, oh, there, I did it. My bad. Sorry, nice kid gloves came off there for a moment. My bad. Sorry to say. Sometimes I can't contain myself, and sometimes you just got to say what's got to be said. All right, the Oilers on a tear. Why are the Oilers on a roll, on a tear right now? Well, simply because I've got 2 calculators on my screen right now, and I'll tell you why the Oilers are on a roll right now. There is a difference of 1.4 goals in between their goals for and their goals against column. You know what that means? The Oilers are scoring in the past 7 games. Remember, we've played Calgary, Montreal, Ottawa 4 times, and Toronto in that span of 7 games. Look at that. I was on a roll like the Oilers, but now I've already fallen off. We have scored 4.14 goals per game. That's a pretty good clip in the NHL, let me tell you. If you don't have a clue about NHL hockey and you're like, oh, what's a good goals for per game for an Edmonton Oilers team? 4.14? Yeah, you're going to win a lot of hockey games, and that's why the Oilers have won a lot of hockey games. Now, when I tell you the goals against number, remember, this, if you multiply it by 7 and take away 2 or 3 because we shouldn't have had Stuart Skinner in net to begin with if Mike Smith would have been healthy, is probably an even lower number because of that game against the Ottawa Senators. But hey, you know what? They count. Those goals for the Senators, they count against us. So I'm not going to sit here and get too upset about it because we still won 8-5, and that was still a very fun hockey game. We have averaged in the past 7 games as the Edmonton Oilers 2.71 goals against per game. Wow, look at the difference. The same guys that everybody said at the start of the year couldn't get the job done. Look at them when they play like they're capable of. Look at what they can do. Again, oh, Tyson, it's against Ottawa. You're not allowed to get excited. So, I mean, I'm not allowed to get excited about that Montreal shutout because it's Montreal and they started the season hot and they're going to do what they did last year and crap the bed after a first 10 games. Oh, okay, fair, all right. So when does it count? When does it all count in your head? When can the Oilers fans start celebrating wins? Can the Oilers fans start celebrating wins when you've won 10 in a row and then you've beat every team in that 10-game win streak? Does that count then? Or does it have to be 20 in a row when you've done it twice against everybody? Or let me figure it out. Does it have to be when you won the Stanley Cup and you're getting into next season and you've already won 15 games next year out of your first 20? When does it count? When is enough for some people, right? That's what's really got me really riled up today is no matter what the Oilers do, it's never enough because, those 80s Oilers. Oh my goodness, that was good times. And let me tell you, you know what? Probably if you grew up in the 80s cheering for the Oilers and you were celebrating Stanley Cup playoff wins on White Ave or wherever the heck you were celebrating Stanley Cup playoff wins back then, it probably had nothing to do with the Oilers and had everything to do with what you were doing at the bar that night. Quite honestly, that's why I think you're so romantic about it. Just saying. The players. Yeah, sorry. I guess the players. I guess I didn't get to grow up in the non-salary cap era where you could just have every superstar possible and it was all dandy, right? Sorry, I'm in my mid-20s. I didn't grow up in that era. I'm very disconnected from that. And if that's what it is, okay, great. But sorry, when is enough for some people? And that's the frustrating part here. The Oilers are 6 out of 7 in their past 7, right? 6 wins. The Oilers are tied for second in points in the North Division. A win puts us at 10 wins on the season in 17 games? That's a pretty solid record if we get the job done in Monday's game against the Winnipeg Jets. I'm sorry. That's enough for me to be 3 games above 500 through 17 games and be in second place and pretty much could be realistically a point or 3 behind Toronto after the 2 games against Winnipeg. Come on, right? What are you asking for? If you're saying this team is just going to get to the playoffs, you ought to be losing your mind with where the Oilers are right now. If you're saying this team's going to, impress you but not do anything in the playoffs, you ought to be losing your mind that the first time since 16-17 we're going to have home ice in the first round of the playoffs. Like, what more do you want? Oh, by the way, the defense is scoring. Oh, not enough for you. You need the depth guys to score. Jujhar Khaira, oh my goodness, where'd that guy come from? He certainly wasn't that kind of player. He should have been gone a long time ago. Guess what? I was right there with you, but guess what? That's the way depth works. It shows up sometimes and it looks pretty. Goaltending. Goaltending, right? Those numbers I gave you off the start. Oh my goodness, right? That's all right. The Oilers have a goaltending problem. They don't have a starter. They don't have guys capable of winning hockey games. Meanwhile, the Oilers have won the second most games in the North Division, have used 3 goaltenders to get those wins, and guess what? In the last 7 games, have averaged below 2.75 goals against per game. Sorry, what? Is that enough? Come on. What other stupid stat do I have to throw? Oh, sorry, right? I can't throw any stupid stats at you because 4 of those 6 wins come against Ottawa. And again, I throw it back in your face. Guess what? I'd prefer to win against Ottawa. I'd rather the Oilers win against Ottawa because guess what? I don't have to listen to your sorry, lame brain, made up fart jokes that the Oilers suck because they lost to Ottawa. If you'd rather enjoy hockey by watching the Oilers lose to the Senators just so as you can be a negative Nelly online, go right ahead. But that is a loser mentality. It's moronic. And you got to get over yourself. That's all I'm telling you, is if you'd rather prefer to see the Oilers lose to Ottawa and you're saying Oilers fans shouldn't enjoy their win streak right now, right? 3 games and 3 games with a loss against the Flames in the middle because 4 of them came against Ottawa, you're off touch. You're off base. You're out of touch. I'm sorry. Again, I don't know. Is it because the 80s Oilers and the bar crawls back in the day during the playoffs left your brain a mush and that's all you can remember of what good hockey should be? I don't know. I'm a mid-20 something lost here because enough is never enough for so many Oilers fans and I am dang frustrated by it because I can never get too low when the Oilers lose. If the Oilers lose, I should be off the deep end calling for the head coach, the GM's job. I should be calling for them to be relocated to Quebec City or some nonsense, according to all the comments I get. But when the Oilers win a 3-0 game against Montreal, I'm way too overexcited and I'm planning the cup route. I'm sorry. This is a pure shot at comments from last night, 100%. But end of the day, guess what? is I'm going to celebrate because enough is enough for me sometimes. And guess what? It should be for all of you as well. I'm frustrated by it. All right? That's my vent. That's my rant. Enjoy your Friday evening. I will catch you either later tonight, maybe that old 1 a.m. special if I get all riled up playing the old Volta on FIFA, or maybe we'll catch you tomorrow morning. I don't know. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I'm gonna go eat supper now. I'm up on out of here.